Khonshu is a member of the Ennead, the Heliopolitan race of gods that were worshipped by the people of ancient Egypt. He is the god of the moon, who also prided himself in being the protector of travelers in the night. Not being able to enter the earthly plane, Khonshu has picked countless champions throughout history to work as an avatar and be guided by his will. He can manipulate mystic energies for supernatural effects, such as, simple little things, interdimensional teleportation, telepathy, healing the injured, resurrection, earthquakes, and I'm forgetting something. Right, granting superhuman powers to mortal beings. He can also steal the power of other magical heroes and store them in Ankhs. At one point, I think he managed to get a hold of the powers of Ghost Rider, Iron Fist, and even the Sorcerer Supreme himself, Doctor Strange. Khonshu possesses superhuman durability that allows him to withstand unspecified levels of injury. So yes, while it is possible to injure this god, his healing factor is completely out there. So good. He can control moon rocks and everything that is made out of them, such as, a little thing known as Mjolnir, which is made of Uru, the remnants of a dead celestial body. Now, while Khonshu doesn't wield any weapons of his own, he's bestowed power upon at least several over time, making him quite the threat. X-23 has always been one of the most popular mutants in Marvel ever since her introduction, so it only makes sense that she has a villain of her own. And this is where Haymaker comes in, an interesting villain for a couple of reasons. But one of the most notable is that Jordan Gaston is non-binary, allowing for representation to burst into comics for heroes and villains alike. But what makes Haymaker a great villain is not only their past as a martial arts fighter that was injected with the mutant growth hormone, but the fact that they personally have a bone to pick with Laura Kinney, since she offed their brother years ago. Not only is Haymaker a great fighter, but they also have grenades that can depower mutants, evening the odds against X-23. With Lex Luthor behind bars yet again, it's time for Superman to face a new foe. But what could be worse than Luthor? But a man who despises both the Man of Steel and Lex equally? Graft was introduced in the first issue, and his plans are still unfolding. An old enemy to Lex, but a new adversary to Superman, Graft is an intelligent villain who has tried to bring Metropolis to its knees. In issue number 4, it is revealed that they are using Kryptonian science to enhance Superman's foes, which makes any attack incredibly specific to Superman on both a physical and cultural level. Quite frankly, the Doctors have turned the worst parts of Krypton's legacy against Superman, because these are things that have already caused him harm before, and this experimentation only makes things more dangerous. And it's proof that somebody's not above making deep cuts to destroy their enemies, and their success thus far means Superman is going to need all the help he can to stop them. As the leader of the assumed secret order of mad scientists, Graft has been tinkering and upgrading a lot of villains. We're talking Parasite and dissecting familiar faces like Bizarro. The experiments are far from over, and Superman is still preparing for what Graft throws at him and the Super Corps next. But what is known is that this villainous genius is not done, and that's scary. Red Mask is technically an original character, even if his ties to the Joker are a little too close for comfort to me. Darwin Halliday may have been a great chemist and the CEO of Halliday Industries, but his constant strive to fix the emptiness within caused him to become the Joker in a parallel universe. And ever since, Darwin has been obsessed with recreating multiversal experiments to drive himself to the same madness that created the Joker, so that he could be free of limitations. Now, Darwin has realized he could never become the Joker, but he's determined. And with a villain like this, creating new Jokers for realities where Joker does not exist, has not been created yet, or is dead, there is much to fear, providing Batman and readers with a fearsome proto-Joker that leads Batman to hop through the multiverse, encountering other Batmen. The Lazarus Reign saw many new heroes and villains arrive on the scene, with one of them being Christopher Lee, assuming the identity of Insomnia. Now, Insomnia first appears in Dawn of DC, Night Terror Special Edition, and this is where we get our first glimpse of this villain that can summon dreams, conjure illusions of others, travel between the real world and the nightmare realm, and alter his physical appearance while in the nightmare realm. This powerful being had the power to invade and trap heroes and villains within twisted amalgamations of their own nightmares, keeping them suspended in the frightening realities of the creations they conjured in their sleep. Do you know how terrifying that is? Insomnia has made for a great horror-themed villain with a grudge against the Justice League for their failure to save his family during the Dark Knight's Metal incident. So with Insomnia at the helm of villainy, this monster has nothing left to lose, and nothing but hatred for heroes as he terrorizes others within their own minds. Like, get out of there, my mind's already awful enough to me. Thank thank you. Technically, Gorgon died in X of Swords, but bear with me here. This was after joining the mutant nation of Krakoa, becoming one of its captains, but before that they were a very reliable villain. They're a mutant with telepathy, transmutation, superhuman physical attributes, also a polymath genius, and extremely skilled hand-to-hand combatant, even leading the hand for a period of time. Gorgon made quite the impact during his debut, and at the end of the day, his strongest feat remains his fist. He was able to sneak up on Wolverine completely undetected and kill him with one strike, piercing his lungs, so he constantly was just like Look, Wolverine is ridiculously hard to hurt, and it takes expert knowledge of anatomy, skill, and strength to overcome his adamantium skeleton and healing factor. And also his senses make it almost impossible for you to get the drop on him. I don't know, I think Gorgon might be coming back. I know, it's a bit of a stretch, but like, I'm sensing it, folks. Most DC comic supervillains usually get one honest attempt at contesting against a superhero, and while they might reciprocate, their original ambiance of dread might not be as substantial. But that wasn't the case with Vandal Savage. First appearing in Green Lantern issue number 10, Savage was a Cro-Magnon era warrior who gained immortality after finding a mysterious asteroid. And for 50,000 years, Savage would battle many DC heroes, and each encounter would always leave massive destruction in his wake. You don't want to overlook that. The Orchis Initiative is Krakoa's greatest threat. The anti-mutant coalition is composed of the best minds from multiple secret organizations working together to destroy the mutant nation, and Nimrod is their greatest creation. Familiar to longtime fans of the X-Men, a Nimrod unit is the ultimate sentinel and usually can only be created with technology from the distant future. So Nimrod has proven to be a powerful addition to Orchis' arsenal, despite not being the most well-known villain. By the way, Nimrod has also pulled off a pretty impressive feat of his own. He and Omega Sentinel went head-to-head with Magneto and Xavier. Nimrod has always been incredible, but seeing him dismantle two of Krakoa's strongest mutants really showed just how dangerous he can be. Another dead one, I know folks, but like, bear with me here. The Apocalypse twins were the offspring of Archangel and the Final Horseman, Pestilence, and when they were younger, they were stolen by Kang the Conqueror, who had them raised in an anti-mutant situation in an alternate future controlled by the Red Onslaught. And they grew up in the most brutal environment imaginable, so they would be powerful enough for schemes. However, they were like, no, we're gonna use our powers to break your hold on us. Then they raided Kang's trophy room, took the axe that Thor had used before he was worthy of Mjolnir, and posing as Loki, Kang had tricked Thor into enchanting it so it could pierce celestial armor, making it a very powerful weapon. So the twins were able to get the drop on a celestial and survived long enough to get in close and kill the cosmic god using the axe. They also planned a mutant rapture. I just can't stress this enough. They stole a weapon that can cut celestial armor from a trophy room to kill somebody, and sending the Celestials to destroy Earth and indirectly all of Earth's futures. And then to ensure their success, they used life and death seeds from the gardener to create the 4 horsemen of death and a lot more. They also had the Scarlet Witch bring all mutants to the Aqaba Ark, sparing them from celestial judgment so they could be delivered to a new paradise. And they're also characters that I think are going to come back. So it's not always common for a villain to be a true pound for pound equivalent to a hero, not just in strength but also in intelligence, cunningness, and drive to achieve their goals. But for Batman, I think Prometheus is his sinister reflection. So with Prometheus, after his criminal parents were killed, he underwent an odyssey remarkably similar to that of Bruce Wayne's. Both a pinnacle in condition and intelligence, Prometheus is a bit of a scourge and ravager upon DC's heroes. And that's all for today, folks. I've been Alexa. See ya!